The first time Jayson laughed at Benita, he didn't know that the quiet girl he ignored would one day hold his life and everyone's respect in her hands. Benita sat on the edge of her narrow bed, textbooks spread across the floor, her father's old alarm clock ticking loudly in the background. Her father, a tired but kind man, had just returned from a long day driving a crowded city bus. His hands were rough, his uniform dusty, and yet he tried to smile when he saw her working late. Her mother, a cleaner at a downtown hotel, had been gone for 12 hours, scrubbing floors, wiping tables, leaving her tiny apartment silent for Benita to study. The apartment was modest. Worn paint on the walls, a small kitchenette that smelled faintly of last night's dinner, a single lamp giving off a warm, orange glow. It was the kind of home where dreams felt heavy but also necessary. Benita closed her eyes for a moment and whispered to herself, "I have to do this. I have to work harder than anyone else. I can't fail." Because failure wasn't just disappointing herself. It would hurt her parents, who sacrificed everything to give her a chance. Months earlier, she had been walking home from the cafe, where she worked evenings to help pay for tuition. Rain soaked the streets, soaking her shoes, her bag, and even her carefully organized notes. And that's when Jayson noticed her. He had stepped outside the campus cafe with his friends, laughing and joking, when he saw her sitting on the wet curb, shivering slightly, looking completely alone. Something about her, the quiet sadness, the determination, the way she didn't complain, caught his attention. But Jayson didn't approach. He didn't ask if she was okay, because his world was simple. His life was easy. He had friends, parties, money, and status. He didn't have to notice someone like Benita. And so he didn't. Benita had always been invisible to people like Jayson. Not because she wasn't remarkable. Her warm brown skin, her natural shoulder-length curls, and her deep, thoughtful eyes made her stand out in subtle ways. But because people like Jayson were too busy looking at themselves to see anyone else. She worked hard every day. Morning, classes and studying, barely enough time for breakfast. Afternoon, more lectures, medical simulations, and library hours. Evening, serving coffee at the cafe, every tip counted. Her life was a cycle of effort and sacrifice, each day preparing her for a dream she couldn't yet see fully realized, becoming a doctor who could save people who had no one else. Months later, Jayson and his friends were in the library, loud and careless, ignoring the quiet rules of the place. Benita sat at a corner table, buried in her books, her eyes red from late-night study sessions. One of Jayson's friends nudged him. "Hey, isn't that the cafe girl? The quiet one." Jayson glanced at her and smiled awkwardly. She looked up, meeting his gaze for just a second. For a heartbeat, he almost noticed her. Not as the quiet girl who served coffee, but as the determined woman working her way through life. But his friends laughed, and Jayson laughed with them. That laughter cut deeper than he could ever know. Benita quietly closed her books, stood up, and left the library. Not with anger, but with a promise to herself. One day they will see me. They will respect me. And I will not need anyone's approval to be someone extraordinary. She walked through the campus hallways, soaked in sunlight now breaking through the clouds, holding her head high. Every step was a silent testament to the years of hard work, silent tears, and sacrifices her parents had made. At night, back in her small apartment, she sat by the window, looking out at the distant city lights. Her father snored lightly on the couch, exhausted from the long bus routes. Her mother returned briefly from the hotel, dropping her bag with a tired sigh. She placed a gentle hand on Benita's shoulder. "You're doing your best, baby," her mother said softly. "I know, Mom," Benita replied, her voice trembling slightly, Not from doubt, but from determination. She opened her books again. Late into the night, she studied while the city slept. Every page, every note, every small achievement was a brick in the life she was building. And the quiet girl nobody noticed was slowly becoming someone the world could not ignore. The city streets were slick with rain as Jayson's car skidded into the hospital parking lot. His hands were gripping the wheel so tight that his knuckles hurt. His best friend, Mark, was slumped in the passenger seat, clutching his chest. He had driven like a madman, cursing himself for not noticing the warning signs sooner. Every second felt like an eternity. Every heartbeat was a reminder of how fragile life is. Inside the hospital, the fluorescent lights flickered softly, and the hum of machines and distant announcements filled the air. Nurses moved with practiced precision, their calm almost making Jayson feel panicked. Then he heard it. "Don't worry. We'll take care of him." The voice was calm, steady, and confident. A voice that didn't tremble under pressure. Jayson turned and froze. Standing there was a woman in a crisp white coat, a stethoscope resting around her neck. She moved with authority, every step purposeful. But it wasn't the coat that stunned him. It was her, Benita, the girl he remembered as quiet and overlooked. Now a woman commanding the attention of everyone around her. Her natural shoulder-length curls were neatly tied back. Her brown eyes were sharp, confident, and focused. "Benita," he whispered, almost disbelieving. Recognition crossed her face. A flicker, but she didn't smile. She didn't show shock. She simply nodded. "Yes," she said, measured. "Dr. Benita." Then she turned and walked toward Mark, giving orders that no one questioned. Every nurse, every technician moved with her direction. She was in control, calm, unshakable. Jayson watched silently, a knot tightening in his chest. The quiet girl he had ignored in the library, she had become someone who literally held life in her hands. Mark was wheeled into the emergency room, and Jayson followed, still in disbelief. He remembered the library, the cafe, all the times he had laughed at her, ignored her, dismissed her. And now he felt something he had never felt before: regret. Hours passed. Jayson sat alone in the waiting room, staring at the floor, trying to process everything. He remembered every small detail: how she had stayed up late studying, how she had worked part-time to help her family, how she had quietly carried herself with dignity while the world overlooked her. He thought about himself, about the life he had taken for granted, about how easy things had been, and how he had never truly seen anyone else's struggle. And suddenly, the laughter in the library, the careless jokes, they felt heavy on his shoulders. Then she appeared again. Gloves removed. Stethoscope hung around her neck. Walking with calm authority. Eyes meeting his for a brief second, as if to acknowledge the past without saying a word. "Your friend is stable," she said. Her voice was steady, no trace of bitterness, only facts. "You brought him in quickly. That helped." Jayson exhaled, relief and awe mixing together. Thank you," he said, almost choking on his words. She nodded. "I have to check on another patient." She started to walk away, then paused briefly, glancing back at him. A small, unreadable look. And just like that, she was gone. That night, Jayson walked the empty streets alone, thinking of her. The girl he had laughed at. The girl he had ignored. The girl he had never really noticed. And now, she had everything he had never seen in anyone: strength, confidence, and purpose. She had earned the world's respect, and she didn't even need him. A thought began to creep into his mind, heavy and undeniable. Could he ever be part of her life now? The hospital hallway smelled faintly of antiseptic, but Jayson barely noticed. His eyes were fixed on her. Benita, a calm, composed, and impossibly distant. He had watched her save his friend's life. He had seen every confident step, every precise instruction. And yet, he couldn't shake the memory of the girl he once laughed at in the library, the quiet girl who worked tirelessly while he did nothing. Now that girl was gone. The woman in front of him carried authority, confidence, and something else he couldn't ignore. Strength forged in struggle. He cleared his throat. "Benita, can we talk?" Her eyes met his, cool and measured. She paused for a heartbeat, then nodded. They stepped aside into a small, empty waiting room. Jayson's heart pounded. Every step toward her felt heavier than the last. "Jayson," she said softly, but with an edge that reminded him she was not the same girl he had ignored. "You have 5 minutes." 5 minutes. That was all. And in those 5 minutes, years of silence, regret, and misunderstanding would pour between them. He swallowed hard. "I never really noticed you back then," he began, voice uneven. "I mean, I saw you, but I didn't see you." Benita's gaze was steady and unreadable. "You didn't notice," she replied. Her voice was calm, but there was a sharpness under it, a quiet pain. "And when you did, you laughed. At me." He winced. The memory of that library, the careless laughter, came back like a blade. "I know," he said, almost choking. I was stupid. I didn't understand. You didn't care," she cut in. Her words were not loud, but they echoed in the small room. "And that's the truth, Jayson. You didn't care. You didn't see me. Not my struggles, not my dreams, not the nights I cried alone to get one step closer to this moment." Her eyes softened slightly, but the fire behind them remained. I'm sorry," he whispered. "I had no idea how hard it was for you." She shook her head. "Sorry doesn't fix years of being invisible. I had to fight for every single thing on my own. My dad drove buses, my mom cleaned hotels, they gave me everything they could. And I learned to stand on my own because no one else would notice me, Jayson. Not even you." His chest tightened. He felt the weight of his past indifference like a physical force. For the first time, he saw her truly. The woman she had become, not the girl he remembered. Strong, determined, and unshakable, yet carrying the invisible scars of years he had never seen. I didn't know," he said again, almost pleading. "I never realized how much you did, how much you suffered." Benita's lips pressed into a thin line. Then slowly she said, "Knowing me now doesn't erase the past. And don't think this chance encounter means you're part of my life now. I've built the life. A life you never tried to understand." Jayson swallowed hard, the guilt in his chest pressing down on him. I want a chance to." "No, Jayson," she said quietly but firmly. "Not yet. You have to understand something. I became who I am for me, not for you. Not for anyone who ignored me or laughed at me. And if you want to be in my life, you have to accept that. Not the memory of the girl you knew, but the woman I fought to become." He realized he couldn't reach her with words alone. Her confidence, her calm authority, and her unshakable independence were built on years of struggle he had never known. And yet, he felt something stir inside him. Admiration, regret, and the desperate hope to earn her respect. She looked at him once more, her eyes holding both challenge and caution. "Time will tell if you understand me, Jayson," she said. "But right now, you need to step back." And with that, she walked out, leaving him standing alone in the hallway, staring after her, grappling with feelings he didn't expect: guilt, awe, longing, and the fear that he might have lost her forever. The hospital corridors were quieter than usual that afternoon. The distant beeping of machines, the shuffle of nurses' shoes, and the soft hum of ventilation created a strange calm. Jayson walked with hesitant steps. His heart raced, not from urgency this time, but from something far heavier. The weight of all the years he had wasted. He had seen her once more since that emergency. Just a glance in the cafeteria, a nod of recognition. But today he was determined to speak. He found her near the pediatrics wing, reviewing charts, speaking quietly to a young nurse, her presence commanding yet gentle. She looked up as he approached. "Benita," he started. Her eyes met his, steady, measured, unshakable. "Jayson," she said softly. Her tone carried no judgment, only clarity. I've been thinking," he continued, fumbling slightly, "about everything. About me, about you, about the past. I know I hurt you. I know I ignored you. I know I laughed when I shouldn't have." Benita didn't respond immediately. She didn't flinch. She simply listened, her gaze unwavering. "I was blind," he admitted, his voice cracking slightly. "And I see it now. I see you. I see everything you've done to get here. And I just want a chance to make it right, to be someone worthy of being in your life." Benita's expression softened, just a fraction, but her eyes remained guarded. "Jayson," she said slowly, "do you understand what it took for me to get here? Do you understand that I spent years studying while working nights, watching my parents struggle, carrying the weight of every expectation on my own?" He swallowed hard. "I can't imagine, but I want to try. I want to understand. I've changed, I know that doesn't undo the past, but I can't stop thinking about you." She looked away for a moment, glancing at a young patient playing quietly in the corner, then back at him. "You can't just walk back into someone's life after years of absence and expect forgiveness, Jayson. You don't get to rewrite the past." "I know," he admitted. "I don't expect that. I need you to know how much I regret it, how much I see you now." Benita took a deep breath, her hands tightening around the chart in front of her. "You are part of my past," she said, "but I built my present without you. And my future," she paused, letting her words hang in the air. "My future doesn't need you, unless you're willing to work for it. Not just words, not just apologies, but truly proving that you respect who I've become." Jayson nodded, determination and humility mixing in his chest. "I'll do whatever it takes," he said firmly. "I'll show you I'm not the person I used to be. I won't expect forgiveness. I'll earn it." Her eyes studied him for a long moment. Finally, she spoke softer this time. "Then we'll see," she said, giving a small, almost imperceptible nod. It wasn't a yes. It wasn't a no. It was a challenge, a test. And Jayson knew everything depended on how he responded from this point forward. That night, Jayson walked through the quiet streets alone, replaying every word she had said. He realized something that hit harder than any regret. The past couldn't be changed. The laughter, the ignorance, the missed chances, none of it could come back. But the future he could fight for. And Benita? She had every right to be cautious, strong, and unyielding, because she had earned everything she had. And now, Jayson had to earn the right to be part of her life. The hospital was quieter than usual that evening. Outside, the city lights shimmered on the wet streets, reflecting the long journey of two lives that had intersected years ago, diverged, and now converged again. Jayson stood near the lobby, hands in his pockets, his heart pounding, not from fear this time, but from anticipation. He had learned, through these weeks, that words alone wouldn't repair the past. Only actions could. He had helped at the hospital where he could, volunteered at community drives, and shown up when she needed support for projects, not just for himself. Slowly and cautiously, he had earned small glimpses of her trust. And tonight he would face her fully. Benita walked toward him, her white coat neatly pressed, her stethoscope around her neck. She looked radiant, not in extravagance, but in confidence and the quiet strength that had carried her through every hardship. "Jayson," she said, calm but alert. "You asked to see me?" He nodded. "Yes. I need you to know something. I've spent years regretting how I treated you, laughing at you, ignoring you. It was shameful. I see now the person you are, the woman you became on your own. And I've done everything I could to be worthy of even a small place in your life." Her gaze softened, but there was still that edge of caution. "Words are easy, Jayson. Actions are harder. Have you truly learned what respect means?" He swallowed hard. "Yes. And I'll keep learning every day. Not because I want something from you, but because I want to honor the person you are, the life you've built, the woman you became without me." Benita studied him, silence stretching between them. Then she finally spoke. "Do you understand why I became who I am? Why did I have to fight for everything?" "I do," he said without hesitation. "I see it now. And I see you. Every sacrifice, every late night, every tear. I'm sorry I didn't see it then." For a moment, the past seemed to vanish. The library laughter, the cafe, the missed opportunities, they didn't disappear, but they became less heavy, replaced by something fragile, yet powerful possibility. Benita took a deep breath, letting the tension settle. "Jayson, I don't need you to fix the past. I don't need you to earn my forgiveness with words. I need to see that you can respect my present and be part of my life without expecting to control it." "I can," he whispered. "I promise." Her eyes softened, and for the first time, a small, genuine smile appeared. "Then let's see," she said. It wasn't a full reconciliation, but it was a beginning, a mutual recognition of who they were, who they had become, and what they could choose to be together if he truly respected her journey. Jayson watched as she walked down the hallway, her steps steady and confident. He realized something profound. He had lost her once because he never saw her. Now he had a choice, to keep seeing her for who she is or lose her again. And this time, he would not fail. Benita's journey reminds us that strength is born from struggle, respect is earned, and love is about truly seeing someone for who they are. Never underestimate the quiet ones. You never know the battles they've fought or the heights they'll reach. Have you ever ignored someone, only to realize later how amazing they really were? Tell us in the comments below the city you are watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real love stories that touch the heart.